Welcome back to ABC 7 Extra Sunday, and my conversation about the measles outbreak in El Paso continues with my guest, Dr. Okechika Alozie with Sunset West Health. He is our ABC 7 medical contributor, and El Paso Health Authority, Dr. Hector Ocarranza. Dr. Alozie, the two children in the Texas Panhandle who died from the measles were not vaccinated. As an infectious disease doctor, what is the challenge to convince parents who may be reluctant to vaccinate their children?
It's hard, and it's not something that can be fixed overnight because, as I mentioned before, this seems to be a generational trend. Younger parents, the introduction of the internet and social media into our discourse around science. I know that I've gotten tens, hundreds of calls in the last month from concerned parents and loved ones who are saying, hey, what should we do? And the recommendation is if you haven't been vaccinated, vaccinate. It protects your child against what could be a very deadly disease. People talk about, well, it's only 0.2%. That sort of tells me that you're okay having potentially 70,000 children die in America. Again, that's a little bit extreme, right? That's not what we expect. Remember, from 2000 to 2014, we had no deaths. In 2015, we had one. Then from 2016 to 2024, we had 3 total, right? So we've already passed that number. But again, I think parents that are concerned, my recommendation is to vaccinate. If you have questions, ask.
And Dr. Ocarranza, as El Paso's Health Authority, what can doctors do to battle the misinformation that's out there?
Well, we need to have a frank conversation with the patients. The doctors are the ones that are best trained to have that conversation and translation of the science into something that the public can understand as well. We need to understand their concerns, and as Dr. Alozie said, we might not convince the ones that are definitely said on the way that they're not going to be vaccinating their child, and that's fine. What we can do is mitigate a lot of the misinformation, talk to those that are hesitant because they might have some questions as far as the safety and efficacy, especially of the vaccine. And that's what we need to continue doing, bringing that to the table and have a frank conversation about those fears that people may have.
All right. Final question for both of you here. We're approaching the end of school and the start of summer. What are your concerns about the measles outbreak continuing to grow? Dr. Ocarranza, let's start with you.
Well, the concern that I have is that we will continue to see cases of measles in our community. There's going to be people that are going to be traveling and they're going to be exposing other people outside of El Paso, outside of West Texas.
Or they'll be exposed while they're out of town.
Exactly. They're going to be exposed while they're out of town. And that's what we've seen with those imported cases. People that travel abroad, they have brought measles, and where measles is more endemic, and we're going to be seeing some more cases of that. As the people start school again, then probably we're going to see more cases in the schools. But we're expected to see cases in daycares. We're expected to see cases in congregate settings. That's where we're going to be seeing some of those cases, and that's where we're expecting to see them as we go into the summer and as we come back to regular school classes.
Dr. Alozie?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dr. Ocarranza said it well. There's actually a great show called The Pit. And in one of the episodes, what he describes is exactly what happened, right? Family goes off to a dance competition in Florida. They return to Pittsburgh. The younger daughter, who's the dance person, is the one that contracts measles initially, gives to her older brother, and he eventually has a case of what's called ADEM, which is encephalomyelitis, right? That's what you want to avoid. But we're a very interdynamic and interconnected world now, right? Whether you're going to Florida or Florence, right, it doesn't take very long. And so this, again, is why we really need to remind people, if you're not vaccinated, get your kid vaccinated. I mean, that's the biggest sort of take home here.
All right, so if you have not been vaccinated for the measles, the vaccine commonly called MMR for measles, mumps, and rubella, the city of El Paso's 4 health clinics have the vaccine available now. And you can set an appointment in the Lower Valley Clinic on Alameda by calling 915-212-0758, or you can call the Henderson Clinic on South Mesa Street, 915-252-0756. The West Side Clinic on Remcon Circle can be reached at 915-212-8890. And the Northeast Clinic on Railroad Drive, their phone number 915-212-6626. Now, all of the clinics are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. They're closed from noon to 1 for lunch. They are not open Saturday or Sunday. We'll have these details in a story on kvia.com. Just click on the Extra section from the hamburger menu at the top left of our homepage. Of course, you can always contact your doctor for more information. And my thanks to both Dr. Hector Ocaranza and Dr. Okachika Alozi for being on the show tonight. And thank you for joining us for ABC 7 Extra Sunday. I'm Mark Ross. Stay safe, stay strong. I'll see you next Sunday night.
Thank you for watching. ABC 7 News is now available on any of these streaming services, as well as the KVIA News and KVIA Weather and Traffic apps.